Well, the market started out higher this morning, but we got a WASDE report here at midday, and we're joined now by Cory Bratland of agmarket.net to wrap up the trading day on this Tuesday. And Cory, what did we see come out of that WASDE report, and how did the markets react?
Hey, Dustin. Yeah, grain markets come out a little surprise here, especially on the wheat market. Wheat prices surged higher, closed up right around close to a limit higher, 45 cents or so higher on the day. What we saw was the winter wheat crop, especially the hard red winter wheat down south. We saw the USDA increase the abandonment acres. We saw them drop the yield by 5.8 bushel from an acre per acre from last year, or per bushel from last year. Net, it give us in about 174 million bushel less crop than what the trade is looking. So that was definitely a big shock and big surprise to the market and got them going. The corn and the soybean acre report numbers were fairly neutral. A couple of the highlights, I did see that they did increase the overall demand for the soybean complex. So they did increase crush number a little bit, and they did increase our exports, which we do expect China to be back in buying soybeans here this fall, this marketing year. And on the corn, we did see a reduction of the upcoming demand, which is to be expected. But I did notice that the global ending stocks on corn, they were looking around 290.5 million metric ton, come in at 277. So big drop there. And I think that has a lot to do with projections here with this high fertilizer price that, we could definitely see some lower acres, lower yields kind of across the entire world, not just the U.S. This upcoming year.
And, talking about the wheat market, for example, now we don't obviously have a lot of wheat here in Iowa, but obviously wheat is very essential across the globe for, food and also for feed and whatever else. What is this market shaping up to look like right now, and how are we going to be able to react to it?
Yeah, I mean, the one thing about the wheat is there's a wheat crop coming off or getting harvested about every other month across the world. So it's a little tough to get the market to sustain a big rally here for a long term, because we're going to have another crop coming off here in every 45 to 60 days. So but the one thing that we noticed here, the U.S. crop, is we saw yesterday crop ratings, they slipped from 32% good to excellent on the winter wheat, down 3% down to 29% good to excellent. Now the Kansas wheat crop tour is just kicking off today, so we're going to get our feet on the ground and take a look at that. But the fear is that when they look at the winter wheat crop, they come in at 515 million bushels. The trade is looking for around 629 million bushel crop. So just the hard red winter wheat crop alone is seeing a big step back, and I think there's a lot of anticipation that we're going to continue to see that crop get a little bit smaller, because typically, Dustin, we see USDA, when they make changes, they don't go back to the way. So we saw a big reduction. Now I think you could definitely see the market or the crop get a little bit smaller and maybe stabilize at best going forward. So I think this crop definitely gets smaller on us here in the U.S.
All right, moving over to the livestock side of things, cattle and hogs, how'd they fare today?
Cattle tried to rally here hard this morning off the rumors of that we were going to start to roll back some of the tariffs or some imported meat. But at the end of the day, boy, these funds in here seem to be a little scared of this wheat market, or excuse me, the livestock market. So we saw them down pretty hard. We saw them down $2.50 or so on the live cattle. Feeder cattle down $5 plus, and that even spilled over into the lean hogs, down a couple bucks on the day.
All right, and then kind of wrapping up the whole complex, grain and livestock, obviously all eyes are going to be on the meeting we hopefully have between Presidents Trump and Xi in China over trade. And, obviously the markets have got to be holding their breath just a little bit to see how this comes out.
Yeah, there's definitely been some rumors kind of floating around about, especially with some of the ag folks heading over with President Trump, to that meeting, especially with the president of Cargill is going to be there. So that kind of gives the traders a feeling that, hey, agriculture is going to be a hot topic. Now, there was kind of a rumor that they are expecting, or they're going to ask China to buy even more soybeans from the U.S. than the 25 million metric ton. But again, these are just some rumors, some ideas kind of floating around. But I think the market is definitely anticipating that we're going to see something positive for the agriculture come out here on, I think the meeting will be like early Thursday morning, our time.
All right. Well, Cory, thanks so much. And if folks want to start having that conversation about marketing strategies, what they're looking at from the intel you guys have, where's the best place to get started?
Yeah, Dustin, just head on over to our website, which is agmarket.net, and there's a lot of ways you can get a hold of us there.
All right, Cory, well, we thank you so much, and we'll talk to you again real soon.
All right, thanks, Dustin.